So, this Bhagvat is all about glories of Parabrahma, and we have discussed three chapters we have done. It has got 12 skandas. Each skanda has different chapters. Skanda means one module, you can say. So, in that again chapters are there. It takes time, but slowly we will go, because let us understand also and let us enjoy. More than anything, we have to enjoy. This Bhagavad is told by many people, I should say, but compiled by Sri Vedavyas. Vedavyas is a rishi who has also written Mahabharata, as we know. Bhagavad Gita is also because of him we have got. Similarly, he has also written this Bhagvatpurana. So, actually, what happens is there is some place called Naimisharanya in Madhya Pradesh, Nagpur, near Nagpur. Sapna lives near Nagpur, no, Uma? Yeah, so we must ask her. There is Naimisharanya. It seems it's a very old, forest. It's still there, where so many rishis used to perform lot of yajnas, homas. And those days, no, that is, we are talking about Dwapar Yuga, about 3000 to 5000 BCE. At that time, people used to perform, that was a Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, when Krishna lived. Before that was Treta Yuga, when Rama lived. Before that was Sat Yuga. So these are all yugas, and now we are in Kali Yuga. So as I told you, we have 4 yugas. We are at the end of this cycle of 4 yugas. So at that time, when Treta Yuga was happening, these people had long life. They were performing yajnas for thousands of years, it seems. Maybe they lived for very long years. All the sages who were performing there, they assembled, and as they were finishing, there was one chief of them called Suta Puranika. Suta Puranika is son of Romaharshana, name of his father. They were all very, very knowledgeable, and just imagine the environment those days. Like they were all so happy and so helpful, totally selfless, no selfishness, always eager to help. And the caste system which prevailed that time also was not as per the what we have interpreted. It was not like that. The rishis were not always Brahmins. They never, Brahmins means what Brahmin we are talking. So the Varna was based on their occupation. It was a different system followed there. It was more pure, more honesty, more selflessness. So people enjoyed. And Rama, Treta Yuga, though, it is a Rama Rajya. So people were so, they lived happily. And that was a dream of Gandhiji also, Narendra Modi ji also. We must get back that Rama Rajya. So that was the environment then. So as they were performing, they go and approach one Suta Puranika, and they say, we want to know about this Bhagavad Purana, and we have come to know that you have heard it. From whom? From Shuka. Shuka Muni is son of sage Vyasa. So you have heard from him, so tell us. And they ask so many questions in the first chapter. And Suta Puranika, being a senior and a learned man who knows all about glories of Parabrahma and avatars, he is a master of that. So he starts narrating, and that narration is documented here. And they say it has undergone some revisions, and it seems even in 4400 AD, that means just recently also, some Alvars from Tamil Nadu, they also have contributed, because it has developed. And this deals with description of how Bhagavan, the Parabrahma, the creator, who was, as I told you, just like a seed, nothing was there. Totally, it was one big emptiness was there. That is Parabrahma. From there, the Srishti starts. Okay, and then how he starts, how we have discussed that, how he first, from his nothingness comes Mahat. Mahat is a principle of full Shakti, that is Prakriti. From there comes all these Pancha Mahabhuta, all those elements, matter. From there, the first person to be born, he assumes a form of Vishnu, and from the Vishnu's umbilical cord comes the lotus. On that lotus comes Brahma. Then Brahma creates everything, including us. This is how it goes. These are the descriptions given in Bhagavata, and very interesting. We have covered some interesting stories also. So we have discussed that this is how they have asked. Now again, and Suta Puranika explains the power of bhakti. how he says Bhagavad Purana is meant for people who are pure, but if they are having impurities also, they can just take one look at Bhagavad and listen or read, which makes their mind purer. And more you read Bhagavad Purana, more and more you become nirmatsara. That is the word he uses. Nirmatsara means matsara is jealousy. So he says the biggest hurdle for us to be calm, peaceful is jealousy or comparison. So he says that jealousy will go and your mind becomes purer, and slowly you will establish relationship with God. That is the beauty of Bhagavad Purana. You develop so much of closeness to him that after reading this and after experiencing that connection with him, who is already there in your during Srishti, he explains very clearly. Bhagavad Gita also tells, Bhagavad also tells, he is there as Jivatma, but we are immersed so much in our external activities that we fail to go within and experience that flavor of his presence, experience that blissfulness. We are not doing that because these are more attracting for an ordinary human being. So this Bhagavat, he says initial shlokas, they have already described, it brings that bhakti which becomes so permanent. Repeatedly when you start developing that relationship and you start trusting him, then he permanently establishes himself. That means in your mind, he's already there, but your mind starts getting occupied by his presence, and that will bring such sweetness in your thoughts that you don't want anything else other than him. According to me, the greatest disease of the modern world is loneliness. For youngsters, for elderly, isn't it? For most of us, whether you are with people or without people, the technology has brought so much of division among the people. In the same house, everybody is glued to the WhatsApp or technology or laptop or whatever. The mind is getting so much attracted. That is the Maya of this Kali Yuga. The technology is the Maya. So when you get connected, then you start expecting, you start feeling that insecurity. You want somebody to be along with you. You want somebody to listen to you. You want somebody to reciprocate your feelings. But that doesn't happen always. May happen, may not happen. So, but if you get on to this Bhagavad Purana, then what happens is the bhakti that you develop about Krishna. Krishna is a Purnavatara. Among all the avatars, there are Dashavatara, then there are 24 avatars also they have mentioned. So if you develop longing or clinging to Krishna, you cling to him so much that he takes away all the shlokas have exactly described. He takes away all the turbulences, all the chaos in your mind. But what he expects is a pure love and surrender to him, and keep thinking and listening. Nothing else I have told. Just keep listening to the shlokas step by step, you will understand and you will develop. And today is the shloka. So this is the background of Bhagavad Purana, documented by Vyasa. So again some overlapping is there in today's shlokas. So we are going to chapter 4. What I am going to do is, unlike Bhagavad Gita, I am going to read all these shlokas and then I will give the gist of that. That is Tattvasara. I will tell you about what is the summary of that, because if you translate word by word, then it's not going to help. So now we are coming to chapter 4 with this background. And one more before I go to read the shlokas, we must understand that this Bhagavad has been told by Lord Shiva to Parvati, and it has been told by Brahma to Narada, and Narada has told to Vyasa, and Shuka Muni, Vyasa has told to his son Shuka. Shuka has told this to Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit is the last person in the Pandava clan, and that is a very interesting story. Next chapters, I have already told the summary. So Raja Parikshit Uma, if you remember, we had a non-detailed text. You remember Takshak we had. So that we are covering that only exactly. So therefore, we are now going ahead and how the conversation. Today's chapter deals with the conversation between again Shaunaka Adi Munigalu. Shaunaka is one of the name of the Rishi. Shaunaka and other Rishis talk to Suta Puranika. Suta Puranika is a well-versed person in Purana. So they are again going to ask him. So this chapter 4 is about Veda Vyasa, how it started. Alright. So Atha Chaturthodhyayah iti ब्रुवाणं संस्तूय मुनीनां दीर्घसत्रिणां वृद्धकुलपतिः सूतं बहवृचः शौनकोऽब्रवीत् सूत सूत महाभाग वदनो वदतां वर कथां भागवतीं पुण्यां यदाह भगवान् शुकः कस्मिन् युगे प्रवृत्तेयं स्थाने वा केन हेतुना कुतः सञ्चोदितः कृष्ण कृतवान् संहितां मुनिः तस्य पुत्रो महायोगी समदृङ् निर्विकल्पकः एकान्तमतिरुन्निद्रो गूढो मूढ इवेयते दृष्ट्वानुयान्तं ऋषिमात्मजमव्ययननं देव्यो हि या परिधर्धुनर्नसुतस्य चित्रं तदीक्ष पृच्छति मुनौ जगदुस्तवास्ति स्त्रीभूं विधानतु सुतस्य विविक्तदृष्टेः कथमालक्षितः पौरैः सम्प्राप्तः कुरु जाङ्गलान् उन्मत्तमूकजडवत् विचरन् गजसाह्वये कथं वा पाण्डवे यस्य राजर्षेर्मुनिना सह संवादः समभूत् तात यत्रैषा सात्वती श्रुतिः सगोदोहनमात्रं हि गृहेषु गृहमेधिनाम् अवेक्षते महाभागस्तीर्थिकुर्वं तदाश्रमम् अभिमन्युसुतं सूत प्राहुर्भागवतोत्तमं तस्य जन्म महाश्चर्यं कर्माणि च गृणीहिनः ससम्राट्कस्य वा हेतोः पाण्डूनां मानवर्धनः प्रायोपविष्टो गङ्गायाम् अनादृत्याधिराश्रियम् नमन्ति यत्पादनिकेतमात्मनः शिवाय हानीय धनानि शत्रवः कथं स वीरः श्रियमङ्गदुस्त्यजां युवैषतो स्पृष्टुमहो सहासुभिः शिवाय लोकस्य भवाय भूतये य उत्तमश्लोकपरायणा जनाः जीवन्ति नात्मार्थमसौ पराश्रयं मुमोच निर्विद्य कुतः कलेवरं तत्सर्वं न समाचक्ष्व पृष्ठो यदिह किञ्चन मन्ये त्वां विषये वाचां स्नातमन्यत्र छान्दसात्. So this is these are the questions asked by Shaunakas to Suta Puranika. So he says, they say, narrate, you tell us what once again they are asking. In the beginning also we said there are some questions. So these people are asking, O Suta Puranika, you were there when Shuka Muni told Parikshita Maharaja about the Bhagvatpurana. So you have heard that. So tell us entirely about Bhagavata. Which yuga did it belong to? Which yuga? They ask him. And why was Bhagavata written? Why was it conceived first of all? Was it required? We had Vedas, we had Upanishads. Why Bhagvatpurana was required? And who prompted Krishna Dvaipayana? Krishna Dvaipayana is a name for Vyasa Muni. who inspired or prompted by whom, what made Vyasa take up this assignment. And then we know about great Shuka who has narrated, and they have described Shuka. And previously also I have told you, Shuka Muni, he was son of Veda Vyasa, but very great soul, great soul, great soul. He has a different history. I have already explained in my previous sections. So he was born to sage Veda Vyasa, and he lived. They say he was a parrot who entered into the mouth and garbha uterus of his wife, and he lived there for 12 years. And they say he was reluctant to come out because when he was a parrot, he had heard Bhagavata from Shiva himself. So he was reluctant to come to this world because he knows the world is full of turbulences, suffering. I don't want that. I just want to be in Bhagavat Bhava. That's what that parrot told. Then Krishna himself comes and releases him, and he is born. And as he is born, he grows to a great mystic, and he has attained so much of knowledge in these shlokas. These rishis are telling. We have heard about Shuka. What have they heard? Shuka, as he goes, no, those days there used to be communication between the Swarga Loka and Prithvi Loka, and probably so when Apsareru, nymphs, they came from Swarga Loka, they were taking bath in the river, and they were, I mean, they did not have any dress on their body, so they were just taking bath. And this Shuka, who is son of Vyasa, he just passes by. Even when they pass by, they just bow down to him, and then he just looks up and then goes ahead. He is followed by Vyasa because Shuka would never stay in one place. That also they have described. He is always on the move because he is a jnani and he is a saint, and he is an enlightened soul. So Vyasa goes behind him. When Vyasa goes behind him, he also crosses the same pond where these people are taking their bath, but they immediately cover themselves when they see Vyasa. So Vyasa asks them, what is this? When my son who is also, I mean, adolescent, who is passing by, and you did not feel shy to, just get up and bow down before him, but when I am going, you feel shy. What is this? Those people say, your son is Atmadhyani. Atmadhyana means they don't differentiate between people to people. They don't differentiate male and female, and they are always in Atma Bhava, not Deha Bhava. We are all in the Deha Bhava. We are all believing still, like last time, 27th shloka of Bhagavad Gita, and today also. The whole cause of our misery is because we are thinking this is our identity. Actually, our identity is something different. That is, Jivatma is real identity. This is just a show, and it's a casing around which we are living. Alright, so this is temporary. So when he knows that there is no difference between different class of people, caste of people, different genders, he doesn't differentiate. Whereas you, Vedavyasa, you are a learned soul, but you still have that Deha Bhava. You are still not so enlightened. So this is what they are telling. We know about Shuka, and we also want to know Shuka travelled all around Hastinapura, and he used to come out as a dumb, dull, intoxicated person, Shuka Muni, because these Munis are, they are in their own world. How did people react to that? Describe those settings in which Suta used to roam around in Hastinapura. And then he says, why did Shuka tell Parikshit Raja this whole story? What was the need? They want to know. Why they are asking all these questions is, some of them knew it, but these people are so selfless. They are always thinking about the welfare of Kali Yuga, which is going to come. So Kali Yuga people, they know, and they are all performing yajnas for Kali Yuga people, because in the initial shlokas they have told Kali Yuga is going to be filled with people who are dumb, who are less intelligent, who are selfish, who are going to suffer a lot. So we must do something for them. This is what they are thinking. So for that he wants Suta Puranika to narrate so that everything gets documented. And then they say about Shuka also. We also heard. So another story about, another thing about Shuka is, Shuka Muni, he used to be going around to places and asking for bhiksha. He would not stand in one place for a long time. Always on the move. There's another story for that. It will come in the next chapters. Always he is moving. Only time he stops is when he asks for bhiksha, and the time is time taken for someone to milch the cows udders, to get the milk. Only that much time he will stand in one place, otherwise he is always on the move. So we have heard about him. These are Shuka's some stories we have heard. So narrate us more in detail. This is what they are asking. And they ask also, Parikshit Maharaja was a great what I should say, king in, and Parikshit has a different story of his birth. Parikshit is born to Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu's son is Parikshit. Abhimanyu's wife is Uttara. So during Mahabharata, what happens is, in the end of Mahabharata, Ashwathama comes and he wants to kill all the Pandavas. But then what happens is, he mistakes Pandavas' children who are sleeping there. They are called Upa Pandavas. So there he mistakes, and then he kills them, and then he takes, all that story is there. But apart from that, in the end, Uttara is pregnant, and at that time, Ashwathama also kills, he injures her womb. And then at that point of time, then there is nothing, nobody, everybody is killed now. What to do of the next generation? That time Krishna gives him darshan. So there is a story of how Parikshit, and that was Parikshit who was born. Parikshit means already para is him. He has already seen him when he was in womb. So therefore when he is born, he has so many qualities of a great king, and he has been doing very good to everybody. Unfortunately, at the end of his life, he meets with some kind of disaster where he insults a rishi, and that rishi gives him curse that within 7 days, rishi's son gives him a curse that within 7 days you are going to die by snake bite. Serpent will come and bite you, and you're going. So that time he takes a vow that I will go for fast unto death, and I am going to do only japa on the banks of on the banks of Ganga. He goes and sits there, and then he does. At that point of time, Shuka goes and tells. So these, they are asking more in detail. What happened? How did it happen? How did that Rishi give him curse? All those they want to know. So these are all the. So then he says, and this person was such a noble king. Why such a state came to him? And so always, whenever there are high achievers, even high achievers, or those who have done lot of punya also, and great saints also, this worldly thing, worldly affairs will not spare anybody. Just because Parikshit was a great king, he was a noble king, he was actually evolved person spiritually also, but in the end, what happens is his anger gives way. His anger gives way, and so he has to suffer. But because of that whole event, we get to read Bhagvatpurana today. So this is the gist of the first 10 shlokas which we have done now. We have just chanted. So this is what the people, Vyasa says, this is how he has documented that all these Shaunaka and everybody asked. Now Suta says, Suta Puranika is the chief. He is going to narrate. So what does he say? Dvapare samanuprapte तृतीये युगपर्यये जातः पराशराद्योगी वासव्यां कलया हरेः स कदाचित् सरस्वत्या उपस्पृश्य जलं शुचि विविक्तदेश आसीन उदिते रविमण्डले परावरज्ञः स ऋषिः व्यक्तरं हसा युगधर्म्यव्यतिकरं प्राप्तं भुवि युगे युगे भौतिकानां च भावानां शक्तिह्रासं च तत्कृतम् अश्रद्धधानानि सत्त्वां दुर्मेधाहृसितायुषः दुर्भगांश्च जनान् वीक्ष्य मुनिर्दिव्येन चक्षुषा सविवर्णाश्रमाणां यद्यद्यौहितममोदधृक् चातुर्होत्रं कर्म शुद्धं प्रजानां वीक्ष्य वैदिकं व्यधात् नित्यै वेदमेकं चतुर्विधं ऋग्यजुस्सामाथर्व्याख्या वेदाश्चत्वार उद्धृताः इतिहासपुराणं च पञ्चमो वेद उच्यते तत्र वेदधरः फैलः सामगो जैमिनीकविः वैशम्पायन एवैङ्को निष्णातो यजुषामुत अथर्वाङ्गिरसामासीत् समुन्तुर्दारुणो मुनिः इतिहासपुराणानां पितामेरो महर्षणः त एतऋषयो वेदं स्वं व्यस्यन्ननेकधा शिष्यै प्रशिष्यैस्तच्छिष्यै वेदास्ते शाखिनो भवन् त एव वेदा दुर्मेधैर्धायन्ते पुरुषैर्यथा एवं चकार भगवान् व्यासः कृपणवत्सलः स्त्रीशूद्रद्विजबन्धूनां त्रयीनः श्रुतिगोचरा कर्मश्रेयसि मूढानां श्रेय एवं भवेदिह इति भारतमाख्यानं कृपया मुनिना कृतम्. So this is from 14th to 25th. So now Suta says he is answering these questions asked by Shaunaka Muni and his other friends, colleagues. So he says this one, Bhagavata, is written in end of this at the end of Dwapara Yuga. I told you, no, Dwapara Yuga is when Krishna, Mahabharata, everything happened. End of that, what happened? Vyasa was born to Rishi Parashara. How many of you remember last time I discussed how Vyasa was born? Very interesting story. If you want quickly, I can repeat that story. How Parashara Rishi, he married her name was Satyavati, who was daughter of a fisherman. He has a physical relationship with her, and Vyasa is born. Very interesting story. I will share the video of that. I think I have uploaded already. So Parashara was a great sage. First shloka says, end of Dwapara Yuga, Vyasa was born to Parashara. See, all these sages know they are born with some very interesting situations and for a purpose. So how Shuka was born also is an interesting thing, and how Vyasa was born. Parashara was a great rishi, attended some conference, and he was to cross a river, and there this lady, her name is Satyavati. This Satyavati is a boat, she's a boat woman. She takes people across the river. So there in Yamuna Nadi, that time when as he is traveling, he sees the position of Parashara, I'm talking about, position of various stars and planets and all that. He thinks, he doesn't think, he calculates with his great knowledge that this is a time for us, the people around, to bring a soul onto this earth who can revolutionize by spreading the knowledge of Vedas, reaching out to common people. And again, probably he thought that in the days to come, that is Kali Yuga, people will not have access to so many things. So let me bring a soul rather than he himself doing it. I don't know for reasons, what reasons he thought about, but he says, this is the best time. A person, whoever is born at this time, will have lot of divine qualities. And so he sees this woman. See, look at that. Those days, it was not considered as something illegal or immoral, because the purpose, intention was very good. She's a young girl, maybe in her late teens, very beautiful girl. Her name was Matsya Gandhi. I think I had discussed this last time also. She was Matsya Gandhi. She is born, her story is another one. We will discuss again, and I have already told. So she is very beautiful, but you get the smell of a fish when you go near her. But in spite of that, he observes and he finds that she is very innocent. Let me have a relation with her and let me bring a soul, a new body to this earth. So say thinking like that, he says that I want to have, he openly expresses, I want to have a relationship with you, and let us bring out a child who is going to be so, well known. And don't worry, once you deliver the kid, you don't have to stay back, you can go. See, look at the arrangement. And then this girl, she looks at his face with a long beard, and they are not very handsome to look at and not so attractive, but she finds that his eyes are so bright, such a jnani. And what more can I expect from this world if I am going to give birth to such a great child? So she agrees, but she says, see, people are around, how can we have how can we come together on this boat? Then King Parashara, he creates with his his ability, he creates one dvipa, island, and then around that he creates a mist so that nobody can see. So they go to that island, and then they have physical contact, and then very soon the baby is born. And once the baby is born, it is said that he grows also very fast, maybe around 7 to 8 years. And then the mother goes back, and then the son goes with his father. There are two versions. Somebody says the father goes to one direction, the mother goes to her father. And actually King Parashara would have told her, you will get back to your virginity after this child is born. This is also a version given in some reference, not in this book. So she goes back, and then father also goes. This boy goes to the forest, and then he does all his sadhana and all that. That boy is called Krishna Dvaipayana. Dvaipa is Dvipa. He is born on the Dvipa. So he is called Krishna Dvaipayana, and he was little darker, and also he is Amsha of Vishnu. He comes as one of the 24 avatars. That means there is a great Amsha, very great essence of Parabrahma in him. Though it is not like Krishna, but great essence of Parabrahma is there, more than what I and you have got. So this is how he is born. So these Sutta Puranika says this is how Vyasa was born. All these details are not given in these shlokas, but these are other references, the stories, because I have taken reference from other this one. One of them is our old acquaintance. One is Aparajitananda Swami Aparajitananda from Chinmaya Mission, and one more is one Achar is there. I will tell you. Nowadays I am forgetting those. So this is how it is. And then now they come to Vyasa. So Vyasa, what did he do? He has Vedas were in a very compiled, and it was a one common document. They were document means they ran into several pages. We didn't have page, of course they were written, but mostly they were heard. And how did the Vedas start? They say Vedas came from the Brahma's mouth. He chanted, and rishis heard it during their contemplation. They heard it, and they were all in one format. And what Vedavyasa did was, he has divided into 4 Vedas. So what he did was, he has divided. So Vedavyasa, he was Jnani, and he understood that reading those Vedas could be confusing for people. So he classified them. How did he classify? Rig Veda, then Ajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. 4 Vedas into 4. And he had so many disciples, no? So he allocates one disciple to one person. So Rigveda was taken by Rishi Paila. He has to compile, master, and spread the message. I'll tell you what are these Vedas actually. And Jaimini took up Samaveda. Vaishampayana took Yajur Veda. And Sumanto took Atharva Veda. These were the 4 Vedas. Apart from that, he has compiled, sage Vedavyasa has compiled Purana and Itihasa. Mahabharata is part of Itihasa. So in these Puranas, there are again 18 Puranas and Upapuranas. All this he has made it easy for people to understand and read and all that. And this activity was given to this Suta Puranika's father, his name was Romaharshana. So he said, my father took up this one. So this is how you just contemplate those days, olden days. I mean, what was the environment and how Vyasa, how much was his commitment for people. If you remember in the last Bhagavad Gita class, we said enlightened people or wise people, they always work with detachment and for welfare of others. These people always were thinking, how do I help people? Their activities, how do I help people? So this is how he did that. But he is sitting on Saraswati, bank of river Saraswati. In spite of all this, no, he has done all this Vedas and all that. So he is sitting and contemplating. I have done so much, and now I need to do something for the people of Kali Yuga, because he gives so many reasons. They are going to Kali Yuga, like I and you. Kali Yuga started after Dwapara Yuga, maybe around 2000 BC, 2000, 2500, maybe around that time. But Rigveda and all, they continued to modification in even 1700 BC also, they say. So they are very recent compilations. Origin is from when? From the time creator started. So he says, in Kali Yuga, we will see decline in the health. This is what they have predicted. And that's the reason this has come, Bhagvatpurana. Health, strength means vigor, and our endurance, we can say. We will not tolerate, no? How many of us can do so much of work as our age-old rishis have done? No, we could not do that. Decline in health, strength, shraddha, ashraddha dhana. So shraddha will come down, faith will come down. Faith in what? Faith in our values, in our roots, all that will come down. There will be decline in the resolution. Resolution is determination to self-improve. That will come down. Intelligence will come down. Longevity will come down. Good luck will. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಷೀಣ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. In Kali Yuga, all this he can see, because he is a Trikala Jnani. They are called Trikala Jnani. They can foresee what is there in future. How the human being is going to suffer. He is going to feel miserable. We may assume that why they are talking so much about misery. We are not in misery, no, that's what we may assume. But we are all doing some kind of spiritual things, and we are able to handle those miseries. Otherwise, we were really miserable. People who have assembled here, you and I, we are blessed to be attracted towards this Bhagavad or Bhagavad Gita. We are definitely having grace of God. Therefore, whatever miseries come, we are able to handle to some extent. But there's much more, long way to go. So he says, in Kali Yuga, and people like you and I, in Bhagavad Gita, he says, we represent so many lakhs of people. I am not exaggerating. If I am here, Uma is here, Chaitanya, we are representing, because everybody doesn't have this bent of mind. If you take the entire crowd, very few will get little bit of inclination. Among those lakhs of people who have inclination, very few will actually come and open. Very few will be committed. Very few will feel like attending. This is not my word. These are Krishna's words. He has spoken in the chapters of Bhagavad Gita. How many types of bhaktas are there and how we evolve. So, we have done some homework in our previous birth. We have got some samskara from our parents. We have got some genetic inheritance from our parents. Above all, there is a divine grace. So otherwise, people in Kali Yuga, it is not an easy thing. Mark my words, I have gone through this Bhagavad and Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad less, Bhagavad Gita more. These are his words. It is not, and I have heard my Swamiji also talk. It's divine grace that we are here. So we must really cherish these moments, and that is why. Otherwise, majority of the people, Kali Yuga, they are suffering, and they are, just a minute. So he sees that and he is so merciful. Then he says, I need to do something. He thinks like that, and then and what he does is, he's in one particular shloka, he says that because of this he starts classifying all this, and then he organizes them, and then he says that yeah sorry yeah So he also mentions that these Vedas are not meant very. I don't know. It was little controversial, but then I got it clarified from someone, my senior person. So he says, I must start writing something for people who are. He compiles those four Vedas. He says women and Shudras and men of inferior nature, they also need to know something, and for that he writes Mahabharata, Itihasa. So there is a question, why women, Shudras and men of inferior, what does it mean? So here exactly it comes, women, Shudras and degenerate men anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರು 25th ಶ್ಲೋಕ, that is correct. So Sri Shudra Dvija Bandhunam Traina Shruti Gochara, these are people who are not privileged to read Vedas, to chant Vedas. So the meaning of this is, it refers to Stri is eligible, but the explanation given is, in olden days actually Vedas they could chant, but Stri is meant for her activities. There are two explanations given. The woman, and she is meant to do day to day activities, and not all women are learned enough to interpret in the appropriate way. So therefore this refers to women who are not so knowledgeable. That was one explanation. And second explanation, today I heard some one Pandit's statement, this one on YouTube, an expert. What he says is, if you make a woman chant and go deep into Veda, a woman who is grahastha, this refers to woman who is a householder, then she is likely to develop so much of vairagya that she may not perform her day-to-day duties. She become absorbed. Even chanting of Om, if they start doing it several times, then she gets absorbed in that detached mode, and she is expected to perform certain actions which will be disturbed, and once she takes the path of renunciation, then it is going to disturb the system. Therefore they have told, let the woman read Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagvatpurana, like that. So here he says, because they cannot read the Vedas per se, and they are not performing the Yajna Yaga which is described in the Veda, so it is meant for those people who perform. Shudra doesn't mean a scheduled caste, scheduled tribe as we are telling now. He clearly mentioned, it is understood that Shudra is a category of a profession. It is not caste. Now we talk about caste. That time it was not a caste. It's a profession where people are not creative, who are not Kshatriyas, who are not intelligent. Those people, it could be born in any community, but people who are of this cadre, who are not able to show their intellectual creative activity, who are known to just follow somebody's instruction, they are called as Shudra. So he says these are people who are less evolved. So when they read Vedas, they could misinterpret because of the less intellectual thing. And for women, this is the explanation given. So he composed Mahabharata. Now what happens is, having done all that, so about little bit about Vedas, if I have to tell you, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. Rig Veda is the oldest Veda, and it talks about mantras, and they are called as Riks. Yajur Veda talks about rituals, and Sama Veda is full of songs, book of songs. Atharva Veda also includes Ayurveda. It is Veda of fire or magical, like that. It is very interesting to learn about Vedas also. But Vedas also have a limitation. That is what in the next shlokas. Now it comes in the next this one. It comes now 26 to 33. So he has done all this, and he has classified everything. All that he does. Now, now he is sitting on the bank of river Saraswati, and then he is 26 and 27. So here he says, एवं प्रवृत्तस्य सदा भूतानां श्रेयसी द्विजाः सर्वात्मकेनापि यदा नातुष्यदृदयं ततः नातिप्रसीददृदयः सरस्वत्यास्तटे शुचौ वितर्कयन् विविक्तस्थ इदं प्रोवाच धर्मवित् धृतव्रतेन हि मया छन्दांसि गुरवोऽग्नयः मानिता निर्व्यलीकेन गृहीतं चानुशासनं भारतव्यपदेशेन आम्नायार्थश्च दर्शितः दृश्यते यत्र धर्मादि श्रीशूद्रादिभिरप्युत तथापि बत मे देह्यो ह्यात्मा चैवात्मना विभुः असम्पन्न इवा भाति ब्रह्मवर्चस्य सत्तमः किं वा भागवता धर्मा न प्रायेण निरूपिताः प्रियाः परमहंसानां त एव ह्यच्युतप्रियाः तस्यैवं किलमात्मानं मन्यमानस्य खिद्यतः कृष्णस्य नारदोऽभ्यागात् आश्रमं प्रागुदाहृतं तमभिज्ञाय सहसा प्रत्युत्थायागतं मुनिः पूजायामास विधिवन् नारदं सुरपूजितम् इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारहंस्यां संहितायां प्रथमस्कन्धे नैमिषीयोपाख्याने चतुर्थोऽध्यायः. So now what happens is, he has done all this, and these people are all telling. Now Vyasa, what he does is, he is sitting on the bank of Saraswati and he is restless. Sometimes now he is such a noble soul, he is amsha of divine. Still he is thinking, in spite of doing all this, I have done so much of work. He is not telling it out of his ego, but he has been doing it. Why am I feeling so restless? Vyasa is thinking, why am I feeling so restless? I have done so much for people by dividing the Vedas, and the most important thing which he has communicated through Vedas is, what is the purpose of human life? Any answers from you all? What is the purpose of human life? I want to know, what is your perception? I am not asking any question or testing you. What is the purpose? What do you think? Why we are here? Or what are we supposed to do during our life? Have we thought about it? Anybody can volunteer? Chaitali, what is your perception? Chaitali, are you there? Indira? Padmini? I hope you are. Can you please come on the video? Chaitali? Yeah, Padmini, please.
I have thought about this a lot, ma'am, but I have not found my purpose.
Okay. Acha,
Really,
you have not found your purpose, all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I have read about this. I have thought about this. I have a lot.
Okay.
But still.
Okay, still you have not found
Yes.
your purpose.
Yes,
All right, very well.
exactly like what it is.
What I should be doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Padmaja, are you there? Padmaja?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what do you think? Is purpose in general? That's a generic question actually. Or you can make it specific also. But what is your perception? What is the purpose of human life?
Um, with reference to the family we are born in and the education that we get, I think somewhere it shows us, it gives us a very vague idea on what can be our purpose of life.
Okay, so
It
you're
might not just be a particular profession. It could be a profession can be a part of that purpose.
okay,
Born into a particular family and living with them, handling issues, solving. See now, right now I'm a mother, so guiding my daughter in a particular direction. So these all, I think, somewhere it has become a purpose for
purpose.
my life.
Okay,
Uh,
all
yeah,
right.
I think it's not very it's not like becoming a big scientist is the only, because even now I have not figured out, like Padmini ma'am told, what is the exact I don't
Purpose.
think it's an end point. There
There's no
are
end.
many purposes
Okay,
or
many
roles that we have
okay,
to
many
play.
goals we have. Okay, what is your thought,
Ma'am,
Uma?
actually,
Ah,
there is one Japanese book called Ikigai.
Ikigai.
I
Yeah,
don't know whether you have that
yeah.
clearly defines, like, tells a lot about purpose. In
Purpose
general,
and
I mean it is service, like selfless,
service. Okay,
help others, and yeah.
okay, okay.
But individually, I think I'm not at clear, like
Not
the
yet clear.
specific
Okay,
purpose.
okay. Uma, what do you think? Not yet thought. Unmute, unmute करो. Hmm. Unmute. हाँ, yeah, tell me.
Yeah, yeah. That's what in search of.
In search of. Okay, very good. Chaitali.
Unknowingly, we might be doing it, but
हाँ,
we exactly don't know, is this the purpose why I
purpose.
am here?
हाँ, correct, correct. So we are
Correct.
still
We
not.
might be doing it. Just now, our co-friends who are there here, they have told, like, as a mother or as a teacher, as a profession, we are doing some, but we don't know whether we are, for this purpose we are
Yeah,
here. But
correct.
I believe we have to be in a service,
हाँ,
like give a, unexpected service, like
correct,
as the book says.
correct,
Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm
correct,
wrong.
correct. No, no, that
That's
whatever you
my
are.
way of,
Ah,
yeah, that's my way of thinking. Like, we are goalless. We don't know what we are doing. Knowingly,
yeah,
unknowingly, we are
yeah,
doing good.
yeah,
But how are we for this purpose?
yeah, correct.
That clarity, I think, we will get,
We
or
need to
no, I
have,
don't know.
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's all.
But
One
right
more point
now,
I'll add.
yeah.
Uh, I think Gita classes also has brought that particular point of purpose of life.
Yeah,
So somewhere some things there is clarity in a lot
yeah,
of things that
yeah,
I've seen over a period of 1 year,
okay, okay,
because of all these classes that you have
okay,
been taking. So I think somewhere I will
okay.
figure out what my purpose is.
Acha, okay, okay, good, good. Yeah, Indira?
As Dr. Padmaja said, we are finding, after listening to all these classes, our purpose is becoming more clear,
Clearer.
what we have to do.
Okay.
That we have to be, our life should be meaningful.
Correct, good.
We have to make our life a meaningful
Meaningful
life.
life, all right.
Sure,
So as, correct,
selfless
very good.
service or helping others,
Helping others.
and we have to do our dharma,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
dharma is, like
correct.
our duty.
Yeah,
Duty is dharma is duty.
duty,
That duty we have to follow.
correct,
I
very good.
think that is the life.
Yes,
Purpose we have
yes,
to.
yes, correct. So anyone else? Chaitali, are you there? Okay. If not, we'll go ahead. All of you have given correct this thing only. We are figuring it out. But we whatever allocated responsibility we have got, we should do it correctly. That's what is most of you are telling. And how best we can do, that is another one. But in the true, what was in the mind of Krishna when he created you and me is little ahead of this. Whatever we are doing, we are in the path, whatever we told now. But what is the destination? Where should we reach? That is the goal of life. Any human being, ಅವನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಹೀಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ರೇಸ್, ಲೀಲಾ, ಭಗವಂತನ ಲೀಲಾ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಡನ್ ಇಸ್, this is little deeper, and this is what I am telling in context with what Vyasa is thinking. Vyasa has told, for all these people, I have already told, an ordinary human being. In the society, we have two people, right? From all yugas, there are some who are renunciates, like Buddha, Vivekananda. They leave the family and they dedicate. Majority are householders. For householders, there are four things as a part. That's not the goal, but that is a part of our responsibility. But they say that is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. These are called purushartha. That's what Vyasa has told in this one. Through Vedas, he has, what are Vedas? Vedas guidelines, how you have to live. In the beginning only, Sahayajnaha Prajasrishtva anta Bhagavad Gita ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. Brahma creates human beings, along with that the Vedas have come. At that time only Vedas have come. What do the Vedas tell? They say a human being, when he becomes an adult in a different stage of his life, ultimately in his lifespan of those days, they used to live for 150 200 years in Treta Yuga. In now our lifespan, let us say 80 years, we have to accomplish these: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So we have to work with dharma, ethics. We have to follow the right conduct, that is dharma. Artha is, you have to get money, you have to generate money to live, isn't it? Dharmadinda artha, in ethical way you have to earn. Kama is when so many things are created along with you, that is for you to enjoy only. Nothing prevents you from enjoyment, in moderation though, Bhagavad Gita says. But kama means you will have desires, but in the framework of dharma, you get to have relation, physical relation with whom? With your spouse, not outside that. Like that, society forms certain conduct. So kula dharma and samaja dharma avella nodkondo right conduct, and earn your money and have fulfill your desires, and through this go for moksha. All these should prepare you towards moksha. Dharma is for moksha, artha is for moksha, kama is for moksha. This is the overview. I mean, the books are written on dharma, artha, kama, moksha. But this is called purushartha. For purushartha, for a person, householder, this is the aim of life. Aim of life is to follow dharma, to make to earn your livelihood. It is for husband and wife has to support in general terms, or if you are the breadwinner, do that and enjoy in the limited purview, margins, boundaries of dharma, and through that use that to attain moksha. Moksha is our ultimate goal. That is the purpose of life, through dharma, artha, kama. This is a broad thing which is told by Vedavyasa. Did you understand? So what is this moksha then? We have not even thought about moksha, no? But little bit you go deeper. Think that we are born, we are going to die. Again we are born, again we are going to die. How long this is going to go? And what is wrong in that? We will be born, we will die. What is wrong in that? But what happens between birth and death is, as Buddha observed, you will have physical ailments, mental ailments, disappointments, yak beko, and again getting over that, again suffering. So in order to relieve ourselves of this suffering, we have to go towards spiritual awakening and then attain moksha. It may be in this birth, next birth. Little step we take now gets added, it gets accumulated like a bank balance. Next birth when we go, again it will add. So, and basic funda is do good, do service. All this is spiritual path, but that is not the goal. You understand? Whatever we talked just now, no, this is the road on which we are traveling. It is not the destination. End point is moksha. So that is what. So Vyasa says that when we have done all this, why am I suffering? Why am I feeling this restlessness anta ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ, next chapter I'll introduce and I'll wind up for the day. We can discuss more in the next class. So Narada comes now. As he is just thinking, he feels very restless, very sorrowful, you know. And then he says, ishtondu jnana, so much I have done for people, I have done this, I have done that, not out of ego but out of the concern. Why then I am going through this kind of vacuum in myself? Okay, vacuum in my, exactly what we are all feeling. We do day in and day out, we do so much of work, but somewhere there is lack of satisfaction. Why is the lack? Narada comes and he convinces him, you have done everything, Vyasa, but You have always talked about rituals through Vedas, how you should do, how you should not do, adu idu ella grammatically correct, prose correct, padya, they say padya gadya gana, it seems in Veda, prose, poetry and songs, it comes like that. Everything is nice from the intellectual perspective. What is lacking? Where have you described the glories of God? Where is the bhakti that has been expounded andre highlighting, emphasizing? People are, restless all as it is. Now they are intelligent, they will understand, but where is that which quenches the thirst of love and affection? That is what it says. See, for us also, no, we can grow, we can accumulate so many degrees, so much of wealth, but somewhere, unless that heart is touched, no, there is no satisfaction, isn't it? There is no satisfaction. Buddhi, intellectually satisfaction is there, but restlessness will not go until we develop that clinging to the Lord. Clinging to the Lord. Look at the history, I mean the stories of Lord Krishna, Gopika Striyaru, Radha, how happy and they were in ecstasy. Where will you tell them about Vedas and all? They don't know anything, they just know bhakti. Whereas the Veda Pandits and all, no, we cannot find that much of happiness or satisfaction in them because they're intellectuals. They are not the people who have tasted the bhakti. Whereas Gopika Striyaru, Prahlada, Dhruva, they have tasted the bhakti and they were very joyful. Bhakti brings joy. So Narada says, what is missing? In fact, he uses the words that we I mean the shlokas tell, no, your composition of Vedas and all is good, but without devotion, the people, the enlightened or spiritual people, what do they call, this is the lake, the Paramhamsas. The Paramhamsas are spiritually enlightened people. They call, or spiritually aligned, oriented people who are into this path. They feel such scriptures are nothing but dirty waters in which only a crow can go and take bath. Ishtu Narada says, anything which does not have bhakti or God's thing connected, it is as bad. Andre, Krishnan presence will make that dirty water very clear water. It's as good as our mind becoming so clear. So Veda Vyasa is restless because he has not yet expounded. So this prompts him to write. More detail we will discuss. So Narada brings bhakti into Vyasa and he emphasizes that this is what you are supposed to do, Vyasa. All these days you have done all this. Now bring out certain things which will provoke bhakti, and bhakti is a very soft emotion which can be expressed by anybody of any class, any cadre, rich or poor. It doesn't differentiate at all. It doesn't. Kanakadasa Jayanti we celebrated, no? Who was Kanakadasa? He was not even allowed in the temple of Udupi because he was not a Brahmana. But look at his bhakti. Oh my God. He made the idol change its direction. Do you all know that? Kanakanak Hindi. Go to Udupi. ಕನಕನಕ್ ಹಿಂಡಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ದ ಕೃಷ್ಣಸ್ ಐಡಾಲ್ ಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಹಿಮ್. This is the version which we have heard. So bhakti doesn't differentiate any caste, any, even see Shudras for example, they say they are not creative, they are not highly skilled, therefore they become Shudras. Now bhaktige skill ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಭಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕು? Pure heart is what is required. Pure heart will bring bhakti so much that everything gets sorted out. Today me and Indira we were discussing bhakti has so much power. You go towards bhakti and this jnana, and they say bhakti jnana vairagya, no? Bhakti, if you go towards bhakti, jnana vairagya come as freebies, complimentary. Once you develop relationship with God, he gives you the knowledge how you should behave, how you should not behave, what is truth. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀಯ? ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಡ. It is not worth it. Just discard. This is a jnana you get. And vairagya means detachment. ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡು, ಬೇಡ whatever is taking me. So the goal of our life is to develop that bhakti, and moksha means become one with him. So much of bhakti should come, in the end of it, no? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's theory, his principle is from Dvaita to Advaita. Dvaita ಅಂದರೆ ನೀನೇ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವನು ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸ್ಮರಿಸೋದು, so much so that you become one with him, and then you realize you and him were only one. All the while I was thinking I was different, but this is bhakti yoga, bhakti marga. This is how we have to go. And Radha's bhakti is, exemplary. Radha bhakti is exemplary. Radha Krishna, so many serials are there. They are showing them actually. So you can read to that. This is how we need to develop. And what does bhakti require? Nothing. Pure mind. Go towards him. Accept him. We are all connected to him. So now I will just sing one song which is composed by Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, translated in Kannada, of course. It's there in Bengali original. How Radha talks to her friends. Krishna is calling and I am going. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿದೆ. I think most of you will follow Kannada or you can at least understand the bhava. I'm singing this song after several years, so please bear with me if there are any mistakes. ಕೇಳಿರೇ ಕೇಳಿರೇ ಸಖಿ ಕೇಳಿರೇ ದೂರ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಕರೆಯನು ನಾನು ಹಾರುವೆನಲ್ಲಿಗೀಗಲಿ ಕಾಯುತ್ತಿರುವನು ಕೃಷ್ಣನು ಕಾಯುತ್ತಿರುವನು ಕೃಷ್ಣನು ನೀವು ಬರುವಿರೋ ಇಲ್ಲವೋ ಸಖಿ ಹೇಳಿರೀಗಲೇ ನಡೆವೆನು ನೀವು ಬರುವಿರೋ ಇಲ್ಲವೋ ಸಖಿ ಹೇಳಿರೀಗಲೇ ನಡೆವೆನು ಕೇಳಿರೇ ಕೇಳಿರೇ ಸಖಿ ಕೇಳಿರೇ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಾಲಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಕೃಷ್ಣನು ಬರಿಯ ಹೆಸರಾಗಿರುವನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಾಲಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಕೃಷ್ಣನು ಬರಿಯ ಹೆಸರಾಗಿರುವನು ನನಗೂ ಆತನ ಹೃದಯದೊಲವಿನ ಉಸಿರಿನುಸಿರಾಗಿರುವನು ನೀವು ಕಿವಿಯಲಿ ಕೇಳುತ್ತಿರುವಿರಿ ಅವನ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ರಾಗವ ನೀವು ಕಿವಿಯಲಿ ಕೇಳುತ್ತಿರುವಿರಿ ಅವನ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ರಾಗವ ನಾನು ಕೇಳುವೆನಾತ್ಮದಾಳದಿ ಮಧುರ ಮುರಳಿ ರಾಘವ ಮಧುರ ಮುರಳಿ ನಾದವ ನಿನ್ನ ಹೊರತಿ ಕುಂಜ ಕಾನನ ಬರಿಯ ನೀರಸವಾಗಿದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಹೊರತಿ ಕುಂಜ ಕಾನನ ಬರಿಯ ನೀರಸವಾಗಿದೆ ಬಾರೆ ರಾಧೆ ಬಾರೆ ರಾಧೆ ಬಾರ ಪ್ರಿಯ ಸಖಿ ಎಂದು ಕೊಳಲುಳಿ ನಲಿದಿದೆ ಎಂದು ಕೊಳಲುಳಿ ನಲಿದಿದೆ ಎಂದು ಕೊಳಲುಳಿ ನಲಿದಿದೆ ಕೇಳಿರೇ Thank you.
Very beautiful song, Pratibha.
Good.
Very beautiful.
Very beautiful, Pratibha.
Thank you so
Very
much.
beautiful song.
This
First
is-
time we are hearing this song.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Actually, somebody came, otherwise, ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪಾಪ ಪಿಯೂನ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 8 o'clock I gave them appointment. He has come. He was ಗೇಟ್ ಬಾರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಐ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮೈ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಇನ್ನೂ ಚಂದ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಸಾಂಗ್ ರಿಟನ್ ಬೈ, ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಕಾಂಪೋಸ್ ಬೈ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಸೊ ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಎಂಜಾಯ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಭಕ್ತಿ.
ಭಾಳ ಚಂದಿತ್ತ.
ಚಂದಿತ್ರಿ.
ಭಾರಿ
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ನೀವು
ಭಾವ.
ನೀವು ಹಾಡನ್ನ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕಲಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ